Operators. They make up the core of Rainbow Six Siege. Without them, this game would be utter garbage. So, to show appreciation to the operators, I have decided to do this series in which we will go over my favorite operators and give them a good and proper review. I'm going to be breaking down the operators in terms of their weapons, their gadgets, and their versatility. Now, let's break down the fake Italian, debating operator, Alibi. Before we cover Alibi's gadgets, we of course have to cover her weapons first. Alibi has great weapons, and it definitely makes her great for roaming. Alibi's SMG, the MX4 Storm, is one of the best SMGs in the game by far. The MX4 has a base damage of 26 and 22 if it's suppressed, and has a base fire rate of 950, as well as very, very controllable recoil, making it ideal for spawn peeking. For the MX4, you should always have a compensator and an angled grip, as there is pretty much no recoil, so a vertical grip is completely pointless. The sight can be whatever you want it to be. It can be a reflex, hollow, and a red dot. I prefer to use the holographic, but I use that on pretty much all my guns. Alibi, like Maestro, has the ACS-12, which is a very unique shotgun. In of that, it has a damage of only 27, a fire rate of 220, and the rather large magazine size of 30 for a shotgun. This shotgun can have any sight, minus the ACOG of course, and should only be used for utility and never frags, as it destroys a lot of walls, but does no damage to players. One of the main draws to Alibi are her two revolver-based secondaries. The first one that we're going to be talking about is the Bailiff, which is pretty much a small revolver that functions as a shotgun. You usually won't be using it for frags, but rather to open up rotates, as it functions as a shotgun, and to break open hatches, to break open walls, and pretty much just regular shotgun stuff. If, for some reason, you don't like utility, then you can use Alibi's more traditional revolver, the Karatos. It has a base damage of 78 and the suppressed damage is 66. This weapon is definitely one of the best secondaries in the game, but it doesn't give you any utility, which is why I would recommend the Bailiff over the Karatos. Alibi has one of the best and most misused gadgets in the entire game, and that is her 3 holograms, or as people more commonly know them as, prismas. When these holograms are shot, they will automatically ping whichever enemy shot them 3 times. Alibi's prismas can be destroyed by shooting the thin gray plate underneath the hologram. The hologram will not mimic Alibi's appearance. So if you have a skin on, the hologram will use the default for everything. So if you want to pretend to be the hologram, you best have everything default equipped. No sight, no attachments, nothing. That is one of the downsides to it, right? It won't mimic anything that you have. So don't bother trying to pretend to be a hologram. It doesn't work because people will always shoot the hologram anyway, because that's what you're supposed to do. Also, don't throw your holograms behind objects or in sneaky positions. The proper way to use Alibi's holograms is to throw them indoors, blocking people from seeing into the objectives and from getting in the objectives. Trust me, when there's 15 seconds on the clock, people aren't going to stop, crouch, and shoot the plate out from Alibi's hologram. So just throw them and block off doors. Alibi also has 2 secondary gadgets, that being the impact grenades and the deployable shields. I would personally recommend using the impact grenades as you're going to be roaming more often than you're on objective. So that means you can open up rotates for yourself, open up hatches, which will help you easily flank the enemy. The deployable shields can be used in conjunction with your hologram, but you only have one and it's a lot less useful to the team. So, all around, I would recommend using the impact grenades as they will give you a lot more utility. Lastly, we're going to touch on versatility. Alibi should always be used as a roamer, as she is armor 1 and speed 3 and has a lot of utility with her bailiff and impact grenades. She can also be used as an intel operator as her gadget will ping people who shoot them. However, make no mistake, you can anchor with Alibi. It probably won't work, but you can do it. It is possible to anchor with Alibi. But you should be roaming, as we covered before. She is armor 1, speed 3. So that's about it for Alibi. If you enjoy roaming and high utility ops, then I would absolutely recommend playing Alibi. She's great with a good team, as is any operator, but she's also an amazing solo queue operator. So that's really all I've got for you, wonderful lads and lasses. I just wanted to make this video as I upload once every 2 days, and I'm trying to stay just completely on that schedule. And I guess you could say this is a bit of a filler, even though this is part of a series, as I am currently working on a about 20-minute long Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord video, which is probably going to come this weekend, so stay tuned for that. See ya.